Samsung's broad portfolio of powerful devices, you will see and experience the difference in your home, on the go, and everywhere in between. That is our goal at Samsung.
Across the global tech community, curiosity and skepticism are spreading at a rare speed around a project that, just 1 year ago, most analysts still believed was almost beyond the limits of modern material science. According to several sources said to have been in contact with LG and reporters from the Korea Herald, Samsung appears to be preparing to reveal one of the boldest ambitions in the history of the mobile industry, a completely transparent next-generation smartphone that could shake up the market order and rewrite the very idea of what a smartphone is. What makes this even more interesting is that this is reportedly not just a technology showcase or an experimental prototype made to grab attention. It may actually be a real commercial product built on large-scale scientific research and years of quiet development behind the scenes. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into this story right now. According to insiders close to Samsung Display's technology centers, this project has been developed under extremely tight secrecy for more than 5 years. However, the real turning point is said to have happened only within the past 18 months. Barriers that were once seen as almost impossible to overcome have reportedly been broken one after another. Samsung's goal is not simply to create a phone with a transparent screen, but to build a fully integrated device that looks like one seamless block of transparent material. In other words, the glass itself becomes both the body and the display. Components such as the chipset, battery, camera, and sensors are said to be hidden with extreme precision, to the point where, when the device is turned off, they almost disappear from view. What users would see is just a flawless, transparent block of material. But the moment the interface turns on, that crystal-like block lights up and transforms into a living digital machine. This story did not come out of nowhere. Over the past few years, Samsung has reportedly continued filing patents with the Korean Intellectual Property Office related to next-generation transparent OLED structures, hybrid composite materials, and under-display sensor systems that can be integrated directly into transparent materials. Tech reporters from MyDrivers and ET News have carefully studied those documents and found that many details in the patents strangely line up with the structure believed to belong to a transparent smartphone. In particular, descriptions such as component placement inside a glass body or transparent electrode layers that only appear under certain lighting conditions have pushed the theory of an all-in-one transparent device to a point where it is no longer easy to dismiss. Then, in November, several sources who had contacted Reuters said the project had entered a closed testing phase with full functionality, making the atmosphere around it even hotter. This means Samsung may already have a test device that works like a real smartphone, not just a display concept model. One source even claimed that Samsung is aiming to release the first official teaser sometime around 2026. If that turns out to be true, this could become one of the biggest shocks in Samsung's history. For a long time, many people have seen Samsung as a company that competes directly with Apple, but whose flagship phones are often built more on steady, evolutionary upgrades than on truly revolutionary leaps. What makes observers pay especially close attention is that Samsung does not seem to be taking the same path as many other companies, where they reveal a concept phone once and then stop there. In the past, brands like Xiaomi experimented with transparent devices and attracted plenty of attention. But the rumor surrounding Samsung feels much more serious, almost like a real commercialization project backed by an entire research and manufacturing ecosystem. Experts from Counterpoint Research are also said to believe that if Samsung becomes the first company to actually bring a finished transparent smartphone to the market, then Samsung, not Apple, may be the one that defines the direction of the smartphone industry for the next decade. Until recently, this kind of phone was still considered almost impossible. Transparent OLED technology already existed, but it was too fragile, extremely expensive, and usually needed separate modules to hide all the electronics. Samsung had shown transparent OLED panels several times at events like CES and SID Display Week, but those were demonstrations of display technology, not full devices with computing systems, batteries, and mobile connectivity built inside. In a real smartphone, there's no stand or base where you can hide the chipset, modem, battery, and camera. Solving that problem has always been the core challenge of the entire project. But according to supply chain sources, Samsung has created a completely new layout. Ultra-thin modules are said to run along the edges of the device to hold some of the core components, while several other parts are embedded directly into the transparent glass structure in a way that makes them look as if they are floating inside. By using next-generation transparent conductive materials, these components reportedly become almost invisible during normal use and only reflect slightly from certain viewing angles, creating the feeling that they are not there at all. At the same time, Samsung is reportedly testing semi-transparent batteries. The idea is to use tiny hybrid cells that allow part of the light to pass through, reducing the opaque area inside the body as much as possible. The camera is also said to be moving toward full integration under the glass. Based on the under-display camera technology Samsung has refined across multiple Galaxy generations, the company may not only hide the front camera, but also shrink and distribute more complex imaging modules, then make up for physical limits through image processing and artificial intelligence algorithms. Since the camera has always been one of the hardest components to hide in a smartphone, pulling this off would be a very important step forward for Samsung. Another major challenge is visibility. If the screen is transparent, everything behind the device can show through. Your hand, a wall, a window, or direct sunlight could all pass through the display and ruin the viewing experience. To deal with this, Samsung is said to have added an instant dimming module into a multi-layer OLED structure. Through an effect similar to electrochromic glass, the device can switch from transparent to frosted, or even completely dark, whenever needed, allowing content to appear as clearly as it would on a regular smartphone. When the screen is turned off or placed in a certain mode, it returns to the state of a completely transparent glass block. There are also reports that Samsung is testing an adaptive dimming system that can automatically adjust transparency depending on the surrounding lighting conditions. If Samsung really unveils this product in 2026, the global market could go through a major reshuffling. First, Apple could take a hit in terms of its symbolic position as the company that leads trends. Second, other competitors would be forced to invest much more aggressively in materials, science, next-generation batteries, and display technology to avoid being left behind. Third, the arrival of a completely transparent smartphone would also carry huge psychological meaning. It could be seen as a sign that the center of innovation is shifting and that the industry is ready to move into a completely different chapter. IDC experts are said to believe that even if Samsung releases this product only in small numbers as an ultra-premium line, it would still be enough to create a powerful halo effect around the brand's image as an absolute technology leader. The product name has not been decided yet. Names like Galaxy Crystal, Galaxy Glass Edition, and Galaxy Zero View have been mentioned in many rumors, but none of them have been officially confirmed. The specifications are also being kept completely secret, but industry watchers believe Samsung would not choose weak hardware for a product this symbolic. Behind this competition is also a very strong strategic foundation. According to analysis from Omdia and display supply chain consultants, Samsung has increased its investment in the transparent display field by more than 40% over the past 2 years. Samsung Display is even said to have created a closed, dedicated research team to develop 6th-generation transparent OLED. That is a highly unusual move, and it usually only happens when a company is seriously preparing a product capable of changing its brand image on a global scale. There are also claims that inside Samsung, this project is being called a historic challenge. It reflects the company's determination to prove its superiority in materials, electronics, and manufacturing capability. Korean media also reports that Samsung does not see the transparent smartphone as just one single device, but as the starting point of an entirely new product category. The ideas reportedly being discussed include transparent tablets, transparent AR-compatible terminals, and even hybrid smart home devices where digital interfaces can appear directly on glass surfaces inside living spaces. Experts believe the market may actually be ready for this kind of leap. Today's smartphones are already getting very close to saturation. Designs are becoming more and more similar, innovation is becoming more repetitive, and users are no longer as excited about regular upgrade cycles as they used to be. The arrival of a completely transparent phone could bring back the magical feeling of technology, the same kind of feeling the world had when it first saw the iPhone. Maybe that is why interest in this project is growing faster than interest in any Galaxy model in recent years. On top of that, there is a lot of speculation about how this device could connect with Samsung's artificial intelligence ecosystem. A user interface effect where digital elements appear to float inside a block of glass, combined with an AR-like feeling, electrochromic effects, and adaptive OLED technology, could create an experience where the line between physical objects and digital interfaces becomes increasingly blurred. Analysts from TechRadar and GSM Arena emphasize that this rumor is unusually consistent. Many people inside the industry are also said to be calling it the boldest and most complex project in Samsung's history. If Samsung's engineers have truly managed to combine transparent OLED next-generation batteries, under-display cameras, composite glass, and ultra-miniaturized chips into one single structure, we may be standing at the doorway of a new era. And that beginning may not come from Apple. It may come from Samsung. Now, all that is left is to wait. According to internal sources, the first official signal could appear as early as the middle of 2026. And if all of these rumors turn out to be true, the arrival of a transparent Galaxy will become an event remembered in the history of the industry. Leave your thoughts about this video in the comments below. And if you found this content interesting, do not forget to hit the like button.